Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for joining me out here in the barn. This is going to be one of those videos where I just kind of share what I've been up to this month in regards to photography. All of the photos I've made this month, primarily photos from Mansfield, Ohio, getting to photograph inside the old prison where they shot Shawshank Redemption, as well as plenty of other movies. Very popular location for filming, so I had been there before, but I don't believe anyone else that I was with had been there. We had a private photography tour of the place a couple hours before it actually opened up to the general public. It's something you can pay to schedule in advance. So the group of us, we all split the cost. It was definitely worth it. But I thought I would share some of the photos from that as well as everything else this month in this video. So thank you all for joining me again. Big shout out to Squarespace for sponsoring this video. If you need a website, go to squarespace.com/MattDay, but I'll tell you more about them in just a bit. Let's talk about Mansfield. Let's talk about this Mansfield in Ohio. Myself, Tyler, and Nathan, we drove to Mansfield to meet up with Trev and Glenn, but Trev scheduled this sort of private session you can book for photography specifically. It's all on their website. I'll have a link to it down below. You can check it out if you're interested. Booking the, private photography tour, it was worth it for the sense that we had the entire place to ourselves while we were there. And we didn't just have free reign. We couldn't go everywhere we wanted to. In fact, some of the places were closed because they had pipes bursting and all of the freezing that we've had lately. So we didn't even get to tour the entire place like we normally would. And the place is set up for these guided tours where people are being pointed out all of the different Easter eggs and different things from the movies. So there's a lot of little signs and things pointing out specific things, which makes sense. But for photography, immediately that was the first thing when we walked in. I was like, okay, shooting around all of that stuff is going to be my main priority, is just not wanting to include things like that just wouldn't look good in a photo, or things that would date it, or just things that don't belong, as well as the lighting, which, just a good reminder, it never hurts to ask. Just always keep that in mind. They had these overhead lights on, and there was just all of these giant windows to the right side, and it just had all of this amazing natural light, but these yellow tinted, just dingy overhead lights were on, and you've got clashing shadows and different temperature light, and they've got to be open for business. It's probably just something hey, they're not going to be able to turn these off for us. But I asked, and she was like, yeah, sure, I can go do that. That'd be fine. Doesn't hurt to ask. Something that size has a lot of opportunity as well, and different light throughout the day. This was a pretty overcast day, so no matter where we were, most of the light coming in through the windows, it was all pretty soft. We didn't really have any hard light to work with, which in a setting like that with so many different, repetitive lines and a lot of hard lines that could be cast, that could have been a lot of fun to play with. However, the really big, just open, soft light, it created a really thick kind of atmosphere, I think. And I shot everything that you're seeing in this video with the Nikon Z8, and everything in Mansfield, at least, was all with the 35 f1.8s. I brought my M6 and I shot a few photos there, but I was shooting everything at pretty high ISO. I probably could have gone higher, but most of the time that we were there, I was using a tripod, which is something I don't normally do. I sort of had to in regards to getting the shutter speed that I needed and getting the depth of field that I needed. But it is funny, using a Nikon now, all of a sudden now I need a tripod. In fact, I'm also borrowing a 70-200 because my neighbors have some bird feeders, and they asked if I could get some photos of their birds that they have there every evening. So Tyler told me I'm going to be wearing a photo vest soon. He's got a point though, because I actually think photo vests are sick, so he's not wrong. Dad's turning 35 this year, and it's showing. But I had the Z8 and the 35 f1.8. Tyler was there with this Z8 and 24-70 that I'm using to record this video. I knew if I saw anything that I really wanted other than a 35, I had the 24-70 that I could switch to if I really wanted. But while we were there, I just decided to stick with the 35. With the M6, I would have been shooting at absurdly long shutter speeds, and I also just wanted to use the Z8 more, but having this already feels like it can feel very just overpowered for most applications, which is a great thing. It's not a knock on the camera, but I need some kind of constraint, just at least a little bit. If I'm going to be shooting digitally, at least going into a place like that, I think I'm the type of person who would get overwhelmed with all of the ideas and options and photos that I see with all the different focal lengths to choose from. Sometimes just having a little bit of constraint working with just one focal length, it was a good exercise at least. After our very cold walk through the prison, we took a very cold walk downtown through Mansfield in order to get some lunch, and just shot a few photos along the way. But we had a great time in Mansfield, and we definitely plan on going back just when it's a lot warmer. So if you're interested in checking out the prison, if you're ever in the area, if you just want to check it out for yourself or book one of these photography tours, I'll put a link in the description to their website. It was super fun. They were very nice and accommodating. Check that out down below, as well as a link to the sponsor of this video, Squarespace. This has genuinely been one of the best tools for me as a photographer over the years. For over a decade, I've ran my website, mattdayphoto.com, through Squarespace. For me, I used to use my website for wedding photography and a place for clients to reach out. Nowadays, I use it for self-publishing and selling my own prints and photo books. I haven't done any coding since the MySpace days, but I don't need to know anything about how to make my website look the way it does. I can just use their customization from their templates. There's tons to choose from. You can find something that fits your style and then customize it to your liking. It's incredibly easy, but if you need help with anything, they have 24/7 award-winning customer service. I can vouch for them myself because I've used them. They're great. Give your work the home it deserves. Get your own website. You can sign up for a free trial at squarespace.com. But when you're ready to launch your site, go to squarespace.com/mattday. Use the code mattday at checkout. That'll save you 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. So thank you again to Squarespace for sponsoring this video and supporting this channel. I don't know about you all, but I am ready for warmer weather. We have all been sick on and off what feels like all year, but especially February. It hit us pretty hard. We've had a few moments to get outside. Molly and I especially, we've had a couple afternoons, just the two of us, to get outside even when it's been as miserably cold as it has. I don't know if any of you hear me complain at all about the heat or the humidity, just remind me. The one fun thing that I've really enjoyed a lot this month has been the live streams. If you haven't been here, Wednesday nights, every Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'm here live streaming. It has been so much fun just being able to sit down and catch up with everyone week to week, answering different questions, talking about different things, but also sharing different photo books and sharing different processes. And it's just been so much fun. And I just want to say thank you to anyone who has tuned into the live stream, anyone who's been there in the chat and interacting. Just having these conversations with everybody in real time has been so much fun. And when so much of my time and like YouTube interaction is just this, and very rarely is it that I get out and am able to be around everybody and like meet up with a bunch of people. And even during crazy months like this, where I'm not able to work on videos throughout the month like I normally would, I'm at least able to spend that time with everyone each week on the live streams, and it puts a lot of fuel back into the tank. So yeah, big thanks to everyone who has been there for that. And big thanks to all of you for watching this video. If you've made it this long, I've been yapping quite a bit. Hope you enjoyed the photos. Hope you enjoyed the thoughts. It was just good to catch up with you and talk photography. So hope you've all been well. Let me know what you've been doing this month. Have you been well? What have you been shooting? Tell me about it in the comments down below, and we'll keep the conversation going. But that's it for today. Thank you all for watching. I love you guys, and I'll see you soon.